Alright, so last week sliding worked fine in standalone, but over the network, our character doesn't seem to know that he's crouching. The reason is that my implementation won't work in a networked game. Instead, we need to use our movement compressed flags so that locally controlled characters and characters over the network are always in the same state. So far, we've implemented slide and aim down sight flags, but we also have the default crouch flag available to us. I only have two more custom flag slots to use for the rest of our movement modes, so it's important to implement sliding without adding a new flag. Crouch is definitely part of the puzzle, but we need another flag to help us figure out if we are sliding or canceling the slide. The answer here is the sprint flag. Obviously, when we are sliding, we can't be sprinting, and we want the player to go right back into sprinting when they get up from sliding, anyways. So, after this slight change, our slide cancel implementation is working perfectly well across the network, and it feels really good in game as well. We then had to implement strafing while sliding. When the player wants to steer left or right when sliding, they press an input key and add acceleration to the character. I then took this acceleration and checked to see if it was in a strafing direction. If it was, I applied the acceleration in that direction, and our character would adjust their slide accordingly. Acceleration isn't just what the player inputs, though. Our acceleration reflects the acceleration of our physical movement as well as the player input. The forward input I'm pressing here is just a very small value compared to our current movement, so when we check if the character is trying to strafe using the acceleration, the movement component thinks that we are. It then dutifully adds acceleration, and we can slide forever when we should be slowing down normally. The way I ended up fixing this was by adding a check to see if we were looking in the same direction as our velocity before we evaluate if the player is trying to strafe while sliding. This allows us to see the intended behavior of moving left or right while sliding without the effect of adding acceleration to our movement when we shouldn't be. Next up was ADS while sliding, which was actually very easy to implement. I made a few small changes to the code and the animation blueprint, and here we are, aim down sight while sliding. Now we need to have a little talk about the weekly release schedule and why I've decided to get rid of it. My goal is and always will be to make these videos as interesting as possible. With the current schedule, sometimes that's impossible for me to do. Last week with the sliding video was a perfect example. It's a complicated feature and I ended up rushing it for the video. When I went to record last week, I found all the bugs I ended up fixing for this video. A better option would have been to take the time to get sliding working perfectly, release a single video, and move on to the next feature. Having it all done would have made for a much better video because it gives me more material to cover. When I have more material, I can do a better job of distilling it so that we can quickly cover topics instead of me droning on and on about the same thing for 5 minutes. With that being said, the next time you guys will hear from me is whenever I have firing working perfectly. I'm not sure if it'll be a few days, a week, or a couple of weeks, but I hope that when the video does come out, you can all see the improvement. Speaking of next time, subscribe, like, and comment if you're new and want to be a part of the community. I look forward to replying to every single comment, so definitely say what's up down there in the comment section. As always, my name is Steve. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.